Ugh, my my head, it really still hurts. I can't really remember a whole lot right now, or what, but it feels different. It's, in a sense, I feel more at peace with myself, maybe, than what I did before. I just needed to get that stupid eye out. I should have gotten rid of it a long time ago. I thought I could use it to... Frankly, I don't know.
Removing curses hurts more than I thought it would. But I suppose it ended up hurting Amrita way more. I didn't realize that it was so ingrained into her. Watching it, prying it out of her, is not an image I'm ever going to forget, I think. Even just looking at her now, I can just see that she's got a hole in her head. It's horrifying.
I know where I come from. I know who I am. Sometimes there are parts that I feel have been missing. But after seeing that spectral wolf, I just feel as if I'm back in Kessig. Like we were meant to not be separated to begin with, and it did more harm than it did good. I woke up on the bridge near Braylet. I'm not sure how I got there. I'm really surprised that I even saw Cillian and Asuriel there, but my stomach aches. Gotta try and hold it together, but then again, I think I did tell Lorelei if anything bad happened.
For once, I actually managed to reach someone in time. I managed to get to her before this thing took her from us. And selfish as it is for being happy in a situation like this, I'm really glad that it turned out the way it did. We could have lost her. And it would have ostensibly been my fault. But maybe Acrio was onto something when he said that hurting everyone shouldn't always fall onto me, but I enjoy it. I enjoy looking after people like that, especially when they need it. She was barely coherent. She was seeing things that weren't there. I know the feeling.
There's a lot of things that I should probably ask about. I'm not sure how to ask them. I'm not sure either, but I could have swore for a moment that I heard two different tunes. The one that I taught to Lorelei and the one that I taught to Cillian. That's a whole other matter in itself. I'm not sure. But there's only one reason he probably could have tried, and I need to focus. If I have to, unfortunately, stop and see the Dr. Mueller and Silburn, maybe he'll be able to help with the wound if it isn't properly healed in time. Yeah. That's really all I can say right now. But Lorelei and I have a moment after this weird, whatever this is in front of us, monolith. I'm just... everything just feels really fuzzy.
Lightning flares in the clouds on the mountain range to the north and to the west. So far, you really don't even hear any thunder afterward. There's no way of knowing for sure if this storm will sweep down from the mountains into the valley where Braylett is located. So you've traveled prepared. The forge wagon, this stone structure on wheels pulled by 4 of the largest horses Acrio could get his hands on, it's parked just north of the town, where you've stopped at this odd-looking monolith that certainly was not there when you approached the town over a month ago.
The monolith.
All hail the monolith.
And we're like right up by it now.
You are wherever you would like to be in relation to it.
Got it.
What the fuck is that, Acrio? You know, right? Sure, you know these kind of things.
Yeah. Yep. I know. It's
You can make a masonry tools check using either intelligence or wisdom, your choice.
You know what it is? I think it's made of pewter.
Let's see. Masons with what'd you say?
Intelligence or wisdom, your choice.
Got it. I'm gonna take the one that clerics do.
Nice. First thing you can tell offhand is that there's no evidence of chipping, carving, man-made tools on this thing at all. That's apparently obvious. It's almost as if it's growing out of the ground. It is certainly stone upon any kind of examination. It's not synthetic, and it's not like iron wood. It's definitely a stone, but it appeared far too quickly for the way Earth moves without some magical inclination.
Hop off the carriage and start to approach it.
As I mentioned, it is approximately 10 feet tall, so it's nearly double your height at the top, which is flattened off and pointed to one side.
It grew here like a tree. I don't know what it is. He puts his hand on it.
Hey, careful.
Feels, normal. You're wearing gauntlets, so you don't really get any sense of temperature or texture.
Yeah.
Vistani recommend letting strange things rest. It's mostly not a good idea.
Looks like it's shaped like a bird to me.
Cyril is also approaching. Should he try to do an Arcana check on that?
Sure. Amrita's right. It does have a beak-like appearance.
Got a snoot.
Yeah. And it has blue coming off the top of it.
Just a faint shimmer. It's like looking over a heated surface. The way the air just ripples and the vision is a little distorted. It's just that very faint, and with that comes like this just barely perceptible blue haze coming off of it in like similar to a fire in daylight. You can barely see it. Asuriel, the blue at the top of this thing that you wouldn't have noticed approaching, but closer now, you can just barely start to perceive it. Seems as though it's some kind of concentration of mana. The mana that is usually identified as being blue more as a categorization than, a real perception, mana mostly being completely invisible to the naked eye. But it's related to transmutation and creation and the forming of things. And with a 19, you have this sense upon inspection. There's really no proof of it other than just this sense that perhaps this thing is growing where a ley line might run through the earth itself.
Maybe it's got something to do with the ley lines running around here. She just says that out of nowhere.
I'm
Why?
sorry.
What is a ley line?
I'm gonna hop out and walk closer as well.
A ley line. The magic that runs all over the place. There's some places where it's just a little more concentrated, and this one's be running on a blue one.
concentrated enough to grow a stone bird-shaped tree?
Pointing somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe a mage came through here, made something. So I don't think
Does this happen when a mage shits on the side of the road?
Not that I know of. You're a really powerful mage if it did.
We're just gonna look up at the beak part of it. Does it look like, what direction is it pointing in specifically?
Yeah, and looking at it, it only has the vaguest shape of a beak. I mean, like, if you squint, you can see it. It doesn't look as though anyone's intentionally worked that shape into it. However, the flat, horizontal peak of it comes to a point, takes a minute to orient yourself, like you know you were headed north. So just in relation to that, but without the sun, gauging direction is a little awkward, but you're fairly confident it's pointing east.
That heads into the mountain range, right?
From where you're standing now, one of the mountain ranges. That's most of Stensia is mountains and valleys, but it would point to the one nearest, like the closest thing would be with the Ashmouth volcano.
Yeah.
Unintentional design, so it appears. It points in the east. The angle is quite not perfect. But that's just rock structures in general.
Acrio, with a 23 Mason tools, as Amrita says that, you do have the sense that the top of this thing, while she says it's not perfect, it does seem perfectly level. Like you'd have to put a gauge on it to know for sure, but it is uniquely flat.
Hey, Asuriel, could you get me up there?
Are you sure? It's so not necessary.
She's looking at his arm. He's like, I can try. She'll
First of all, you're going to break Asuriel's arms and probably break your own body. Burning to death up there.
There's only one other place where I've seen something so purely blue, and that's this, and he pulls his hammer out and the glowing blue gem on top of it.
Maybe hold it closer, see if it resonates a bit.
Drifts his hammer towards it to see if there's any reaction.
Doesn't really seem to be any reaction to it, no.
How many big magical events happened recently that it could be related to? Let it rest.
Plenty.
Please.
But all of them have been red and black and death and gloom, and this one's blue.
I am not.
How many blue things have you seen in your life that are evil, minus Lorelei?
Hey.
Like millions, literally.
Standing right here.
I don't know. It doesn't seem evil.
It seems ominous.
Transmutation.
I'm really not in the state to help if something happened. I
just
make haste.
Look,
hold on, just 1 second. I just want to try something, and I doubt this will work because I don't think it's necessarily natural. But I just briefly want to touch it and decompose, just to see if it like reacts to that. Like try and just spread some lichen across the side. See if it reacts as a natural material.
It's more like stone really doesn't react to that at all. Like there really is none. Like it's not like wood, which will decompose and rot and grow things out of it. Stone is one of the most eternal elements. Yes, it shifts over time, but it doesn't really.
Yeah, it's decomposed, it's not erosion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just wondering, I was curious to see if it worked. I don't immediately die when I touch it, do I?
Nope.
Okay.
Does it open its mouth and just go...
Well, need your roll initiative. Okay. I know it's a bad idea, Cillian, but...
At least don't get Asuriel to carry you up there.
Okay.
Really heavy.
I won't make Asuriel carry me up there, but Amrita, will you give me a boost?
I will help.
You know what? It's fun not being the idiot for once. Go ahead.
Entertaining to watch.
Yeah, how's it feel being on the other side of this?
Fucking strange. I'm not a big person normally.
Maybe you can stand on your horse to get up there.
Amrita gets off of Petunia, but she's like steady. And she's
Can we
still
put two horses
feels-
together and you can like?
I mean, it's
Van
not a
Damme
bad
on top of the
idea.
horses?
Asuriel has. I mean, if you were to like pull the cart
Yeah.
up next to it, it's
I'll
got
just-
a roof.
yeah.
You just climb
Yeah,
out of the
we
roof.
climb
Oh,
up.
okay. I'll just
That's
like-
probably at least 8 feet tall with the wheels anyway.
Yeah.
You would be better off moving something else. I just said I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not in the state.
Especially
Yeah.
with your head. I'll grab the cart, bring them
If she
over,
lifts you too
and
hard, her brain will just go.
scramble to the top of the stone, and just like once I'm on top of the forge cart, and like I'm guessing I'm like above, if not eye level, with
Mhm.
the stone.
Mhm.
I'll just drop my hammer on it and then climb up myself.
I mean, the top of it's only like, this wide and pointy, so like you can,
yeah.
ride it like a witch's broomstick if you really want, but
Sure.
Like a mechanical ball. Let's go.
it's thin. Oh, in the picture it looked fucking massive.
Mhm.
Mhm.
well, like I said, it's about 10 feet tall. Let me open up the picture again. Yeah, it comes to
Yeah.
a point. So yeah, it like at the top it's like this thick, and then coming to a point and
Oh,
narrow.
okay.
So it's 3 feet long in total at the peak.
Then I'll just like stand on it straight and just orient myself with the point and see if I can see anything in the distance.
Nothing that stands out other than what you think maybe you're grasping at. It's not pointing directly toward the volcanic eruption at the ash mouth. Doesn't seem to point to any particular peak unless you're like, maybe angle this way a little bit, it might, but really
No.
you don't get the sense that it's pointing to anything in specifically here. And it doesn't feel different. Like, most people don't feel magic, even in its most concentrated form, unless it's being channeled specifically, and this doesn't feel like that.
This could be something. And he's talking down to everybody while he's sitting up on the rock. He'll just sit over the side. If it is something, then it might be a good thing. And if it's a bad thing, then isn't it our job to destroy it anyway?
Right, but nothing's happening.
Which is
Could-
promising.
If Asuriel's right, a magic ritual at the top of it will probably be, effective.
And then we can stop the magic ritual if it's evil. Or it's a place. If there's a ley line, then maybe that line leads somewhere. And maybe there's something there.
Not really. Ley lines just kind of go all over the place
But they do lead somewhere, right?
to a
It's just-
specific point.
Do I know about my forge?
Make a history check real quick.
My
Yeah.
Forg.
I think I've done this one before, but 4. Yeah, 4 for forge.
Somewhere in your memory, Acrio, during your training at the Elgid grounds, there was nothing particularly useful about ley lines, but they were mentioned a time or two. There are ley lines and there are ley rings, and where lines and rings cross, it can be potent. The only thing you remember is it may have come up in conversation related to the forge, but you don't really remember who started it or why. And
Got
I
it.
would say you would know that there are people who have tried to document and like sketch out where ley lines can be found, but you
Yeah.
have no memory of what that would look like.
What bad happens if we detour for just a little while?
We've detoured long enough. I am very tired. I have
Yeah.
detoured far beyond than where I planned to go.
Amrita, arguably, if we detour, doesn't that give you more time to recover?
Aren't you already on a detour?
If it's nothing, then you just have more time to rest.
And then you can be fighting fit for when we go back through the pass.
I would rather just stop in Silvern and see the Dr. Mueller. He might be able to assist in the matter.
Oh, we'd have to go through the pass for that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
You're gonna have to survive whatever that creature is first.
So arguably, I'm with you on this, Acrio. If you want to follow it, I say we follow it. And while everyone's debating, I'm gonna hop off the cart and take a sit next to this thing, and I'm just gonna press my hands to the floor and cast detect magic, just to see if it like I don't know, it's got like a little like sniper beam, something coming off it that is pointing somewhere.
Describe how her detect magic functions. Like, how does Lorelei go about that process?
I feel like she deliberately closes off her other senses and tries to just focus in on just one. But it's like normally she's like hyper vigilant and focusing on everything, but with this it's like deliberately closing them all off. And with this, I think she's focusing on, I guess, like the sound, like the resonance of the magic.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like she's got just her hands on the dirt just to see if there's like any connection that way.
Getting that dirt under your fingernails is almost massage your fingers into the earth itself, going through this ritual. I wouldn't exactly call it a sniper beam, but
you know
there is a directional element that you feel the pull of magic in the angle that this thing is facing.
Do I get a vibe for what color mana it is?
Oh
Is it
yeah, I
still
mean
blue?
it would be vibrantly blue.
Yeah, the pull is blue. Also, okay. Yeah, she's gonna stand up and like wipe the dirt off of her hands. It's pulling somewhere, so.
Or pushing.
Pulling,
Same
pushing.
feeling, but
Compelling.
Maybe it's something on the other side of the mountain. We just can't see it from here.
May I selfishly convince you all to follow?
I don't know.
Seems so unnecessary.
For the curiosity.
Really, guys? After everything that Acrio has done for us, we're not gonna humor him once?
It's not that. Just
Weird boat to throw it on. I just thought it was a bad idea.
You think everything's a bad idea?
No, there's tons of good ideas.
maybe I can just scout ahead, see if there's anything.
Won't it
Or
just
the
lead
mountains?
into the mountains?
That
Which is like,
yeah, I mean, it's like probably 20, 30 miles away, the real mountains, but yeah, I mean, it's flat enough here in Braylet that you could, or in the valley where Braylet is situated, that yeah, looking east, it's flatlands, and then it just leads up into mountains.
is there a way to track if this path would still lead us to the pass? Or she
Oh
can...
no, it's not pointing
No.
toward the pass at all. The needle's eye, not even a little bit.
I think a scout
Accurate.
would be better, in my opinion. I'm tired. I've traveled very long. I already went out of my way and I helped. And I felt like that was enough cause and saved his town. So I think it's fair to no longer humor such things.
Asuriel, you wanna scout? Asuriel, you wanna do it? You wanna fly ahead?
Yeah, I can do that.
Do you think you could carry me? Well, here's the thing. Just once I've, figured out a bit of magic, I have a bit of. I can still sense it for a bit. So I could at least help guide you along the direction.
What's the range of detect magic?
It is
2 feet.
It's within 30 feet, but it's up to 10 minutes. So.
Okay, so you'd have to fly like 30 feet off the ground or less.
Yeah, but still.
Suriel's not
it's
going to
fine.
do much other than hovering when carrying a whole ass person.
Yeah,
But I think it's the direction more than the height, right? That we're really looking for.
yeah, it's more like seeing what could be there, what it could be pointing to. But Cyril was like, I'll try. I haven't tried before.
It's like, how do you want to carry me by the shoulders? Do I upside down? How do you want to just like dangle me by the ankles and I'll just like scrape along the floor?
Third option, please.
What? I'll just carry you with my by the arms.
Hopefully you're strong in the shoulder.
Just like nah, just like lie down.
Okay. I mean, she's basically already just like sitting down at this point. It's like, I don't know, just.
She'll try and like pick her up like Princess Carrie.
Oh, okay.
She will try.
Yeah, arms
Fat.
like yeah, but Asuriel has what, like a -7 strength?
No, she has perfectly average strength, but it
It's
is
still,
a whole ass person.
It's still off-putting, but in a good way. Like that vision of these brilliant white and gold wings composed purely of mana. It's interesting because you were just seeing like just that haze of blue of mana that shouldn't be visible, and then to see it like
I
perfectly
just get
channeled,
flashbanged.
there is a warming feeling to it. Just the sight of something close to angelic. Asuriel, you go to try to scoop up Lorelei. You can lift her yourself with your body. It's like she's fairly waifish, a little top heavy, but fairly waifish. And
I'll kill you.
however, you find these wings don't really push air exactly the way a bird's would, or even an angel's, because they are not solid. You yourself are capable of propelling yourself as flying, but you are not able to lift anything close to a human's weight.
Am I too heavy? You can put me down.
You see her struggling for like a minute, maybe just trying to get off the ground. And she's like, "Yeah, this isn't working."
Good
I'm
try,
sorry.
though. Good try. I mean, you still managed to hold me up. That's impressive.
All
My
right,
arms hurt.
Asuriel, if you want to do a bit of scouting, see if you can see anything. Look, guys, we all saw the Ashmouth erupt, right? Cillian,
And it's still smoking.
Yes, and it's exactly why I don't want to go into the mountain range where this thing is pointing. That
We're going
house
to
is
the
next
pass,
to
which
the
is right.
volcano.
We're going to the pass, which is right by the Ashmouth. We're going that way anyway.
if it's nothing, great. We can just go about our merry way, and we took a little detour to leisurely meander around. If it is something, we're not always going to have a literal angel meandering about helping us kill demons, but it still needs to be done, and maybe if there's something there, it'll help us kill them easier.
Fine, you got it. How good can your thing off-road?
Sorry,
How
that's
big did
really
I make the wheels, Jake?
I mean, they're large, but so it is capable, but I mean, it's definitely not built. I mean, you had to get it from the forge to Braylon,
Yeah.
so there is
so
no particular road, so it's capable. But you know, it was an arduous journey for the horses.
This bad boy got 4-horse drive.
It got 4 horsepower, baby. I guess we'll find out. If the
do-
rain comes, we're gonna have a problem, but otherwise, dry land should be fine.
Do you still want me to scout ahead?
Yes, please.
Go for it.
Alright, because I've got an idea about following that line. Just gonna take out the stone.
Asuriel!
Sorry, Acrio is
Yes,
silent.
girl.
He does not respond. Like he knows it's a horrible idea, but he's just zip.
Stick it to the man.
We do not go that direction until she scouts ahead.
Yep.
I will not.
She'll put the stone up to her eye to see the string before trying to follow it.
Yep. And it is remarkably straight and pointed. It doesn't seem to waver at all. It's faint. It's not like you're seeing like a full-on like sky beam, but at certain angles you can catch it with enough vision to follow it. And could I have you make an investigation check?
Alright.
The rest of you all watch Asuriel take flight off toward the mountain range.
I will slap some guidance on that.
Oh yeah, I have guidance.
With
Perceive.
29 total, you make a few passes, wanting to keep the rest of your group in sight, but you follow it a good ways and from a good height, and you do not catch any anomalies outside of this cryptic monolith and the strange direction of mana. You don't find any sign of like relics or ruins, artifacts, any creatures other than what you would expect to see, little jackrabbits and hawks, that sort of thing.
She'll come back then.
And as far as you can see, it does continue into the mountain range as far as you can perceive.
So I could assume it's just going through the mountain range?
Potentially.
Okay, she'll come back, land. I didn't see anything weird between here and the mountains. There's just
Oh, I was
regular
right.
stuff.
How strange.
I still think it might just be going through the mountains. Maybe something beyond it?
Acrio, being the native of Stinzia, would know the opposite side of this particular mountain range is one of the Farbog, the South Farbog, the kind of like marshlands.
Which, not very inhabited.
At one time, you came to find out there was a village known as Nestri, but it was destroyed, and since the bog has taken it.
Do you wonder how that happened?
No idea. So there might be something in the mountains, or it might just go nowhere.
It might go further than the mountains.
It could, but if it goes
go
further,
all the way to fucking Thalia.
If it goes further than the mountains, then it goes into the bog, and we're definitely not going there. But if it's in the mountains, there's something else in the mountains that I happened to find a couple when I was a kid, and it's gotten me here. Maybe there's something else out there in the mountains. We certainly like to hide stuff out there.
Let's keep it in mind. Maybe reference would there be maps of ley lines? It'd probably be something rare if it exists, but I don't know. It might be off kilter, pointing a different direction than expected.
Are we ever going to come back this way?
Ever? Yeah, probably.
And
I do want to see your
next time,
sister again, Acrio. I mean, we had good times.
I'll kill you.
No, expect nothing less.
He rests his hand on the rock, looking up at that blue haze.
You really want to go see what this is, don't you?
The curiosity will kill me, but if nobody else wants to go, then who am I to argue?
You have every right to argue.
I've already argued.
And
people
I'm on your side
want
in this.
to keep going.
I will stay here. What if you go and you find it and go halfway? I don't have time for this. Been delayed too long on going to Hanweir. I've done each and every one thing for each of you, and I'm tired. I'm not sure I can go on much longer.
Maybe we at least get Amrita to see the doctor in Silburn. And then maybe we can
that's
come
if we
back.
survive going through the pass. Because I know none of you want to go Corsiva way.
Nah.
The chances of making it to Silburn and surviving are pretty low if we go and find that thing. There is every chance that Amrita will. There's every chance that Amrita will not make it to Silburn if we go through the pass like this.
And better yet, why are we going through the pass if we're still beaten and bruised?
I feel fine. And look what we did to Riverax. I'm sure we'll be fine. That thing flew away from us last time because we're awesome. We got this.
What's that saying? Lightning doesn't strike twice?
We had an angel helping us.
Rocks
and I know
don't grow from the ground.
Yeah, they don't.
I'll be honest. There's something about that creature. I don't know. I need to destroy it.
And we will. I'm not saying we leave it. I'm just saying going there now, in the state we're in, might do more harm than good. Because if you want to kill it, we've got to show it a really tough time. And we aren't at full capacity right now.
Amir's gonna look at Acrio and walk over to him and just look down. You really want to go that direction, that badly, and be delayed.
My curiosity got me this far.
This is the last time I will humor you in this, but I think I've done as much for you as I can. Same for the others. I think it's only fair now that it's high time that I get to Hanweir after all this time.
Oh yeah, you're doing your best, huh? Looking away. It's fine, I'll rescind my vote. I'll sit on my horse. Follow the rest.
Guys,
Guys,
I don't think this is fair. This really isn't fair.
This is the direction we will go. We will go that way. We will follow the lines. I will go to the front. It's fine. She's gonna grab Petunia.
But still, making it this transactional, guilty, reluctant thing.
No, it's Lorelei.
Because it's something I don't want to do, Lorelei. You can't just point blame at me because you like Acrio. He has a vote, I have a vote. Fuck off. Please.
I'm going that way. Whoever follows, follows. But I don't think it's right that we make these decisions so tensely.
Amrita's already started, like, in the front, sort of ignoring everything in the back. Alright, Asuriel, just tell me which way you saw these things.
Okay, yeah. Just, I'll take the lead.
I'll be behind you.
Go to the front. Like, it was a really straight line, so if we just keep going this way, we'll be with it.
Acrio will look at his hammer, tuck it back on his belt, and slightly dejected get back on his horse. Or the cart.
Asuriel, you will be blinded in the one eye for up to an hour. After
Shit,
the
that
use
was
of
what the
this
default was.
witch stone.
Okay, and now
Oh,
we're
So your
okay.
perception, your perception is actually quite hampered at the moment, especially depth perception.
Yeah, especially flying. Like, is that tree? Oh God!
Yeah, she's going on the horse, but you see her miss the reins a few times because she's underreaching it, but she's not saying why.
I know we don't want to go this way, but I appreciate it nonetheless.
Lorelei's gonna sit in the cart and become a cloak burrito.
Oh,
It's
see if
fine.
there's any footprints as well.
Just
Then right ahead.
until where should we go though? Just to the bottom of the mountains, or should we continue after that?
If it gets bad, then we won't go up the mountain range. But I don't know how far the line would go. I guess we just follow.
Can you make a survival check, Amrita?
Yes. Watch it be shit. No, okay.
Does that look shit to you?
I'm just saying, I'm like, when I want it to be good, maybe if I think negatively, it'll go
Yeah, you have to
positively.
reverse psychology of the dice.
Yeah.
There are no footprints, boot marks, hoof prints other than what's on the road near this thing around the base or going off particularly toward the east. You don't know how long it's been here, so it's a fairly dusty region once you get past the fields and the fertile grounds, so anything may have been swept away. If anyone did, you don't find any track marks of wheels or anything else going that way either.
And in silence, we continue.
I am far away from everyone complaining to Reagan.
Oh, give him the tea. Let's do that.
Oh fuck! I forgot. Jay, is it possible to retroactively do the fucking prayer? What was it called?
I mean, you can, if you haven't today, you can do it at any point.
Oh, we can do it every day. Okay, it's not a long rest. All right.
I mean, it is like
Good to know.
it is a long rest, but like, if you haven't done it since the last long rest, you can do it at any point, before your next for it to count.
All right. Yes, we'll do it at the next rest then. The prayer of protection.
I mean, you could, like I say, you could do it now and it lasts until your next long rest.
Okay, I'll do it now then. That's -2. Yep, there we go.
What is she?
And I'll change
And
it to
what is-
monstrosity.
Specifically praying against monstrosities. Gotcha.
Oh, do they just get -2 now?
It's similar to protection from evil and good, but it's specific creatures, not the whole category. And it's slightly more limited, but similar in concept. You are fortunate enough that the storm in the Western Gyre doesn't make it past the Farbog to your north. It doesn't make it down into the valley. It becomes windy as the day goes on, but the clouds themselves and I guess it's always cloudy. The darker clouds and the heavy rains don't make it to you. The ground becomes rockier, and you find yourself having to move around like small gorges and terrain that was not cut by human traffic at all. Amrita can follow a few game trails that make it a little easier to find ways around things, natural paths the animals have taken. In your eastwardly travels, how far would you go? It's going to take probably more than a day to reach the actual foot of the mountains off-road.
Maybe until it gets to be nightfall to set up camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beyond that, I'm curious, are you going to try to go all the way to the mountains?
Acro will try and push for it.
Then can I have someone roll a d12, please?
No, fuck.
I'm not doing it. No
Just
hands.
not
You do,
doing it.
Kristen. You do it. You do it. This
person
is
who
your
got us
idea.
into this
Mhm.
mess.
Feels like
Yeah.
Acrio has to do it.
Yeah.
This is our idea. You wanted to fuck around. You have to be the one that finds out.
I have
Yeah.
to find out. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What's everyone's level of supply currently?
Ah, fuck.
Oh, fuck. 2.
I have 3.
3.
So you guys are moderately supplied. Would Amrita be trying to hunt something to bolster those so you have fresh game? You don't have to break into your supplies too often?
Yeah, if
Or
needed.
is she just...
If they camp or something, which I assume they had to, so yeah.
Yeah, you will have to camp at least one night.
Yeah. Do I need a roll to see if I get anything?
No, there's plenty of game. Might be small, might be a few pheasants or something like that.
Okay.
The night is mostly quiet other than distant wolf cries and something mixed into them that you don't quite recognize. But there's not really any way to know for sure. Coyotes, maybe? You've heard of creatures in the far west that are similar to wolves and coyotes, but they have like a laughing sound to them. Never been that far yourselves, but
In the
Fucking
distance, be
hyenas?
prepared.
Bro, yeah.
Scar, long live the king.
Yeah, wow. Yeah.
so yeah, you can
So-
set up watches if needed, but I'll tell you right now that you're not going to be viciously attacked in the
Mhm.
night.
Yeah, set up some watches.
Yeah, we'll set
I
it
mean,
up
I assume
anyway,
you
but-
would, but if you want to
Well-
talk during them, that's up to you.
Yes, talk during them. I think Amrita would try to watch with Lorelei.
I'll watch with Cillian.
Oh god.
Asuriel gets to be all alone.
Yeah.
Let's everyone get some peace and fucking quiet.
Sorry.
Asuriel's like the peaceful interlude.
Yeah.
It's
It's like screaming and yelling, silence, screaming and
Yeah.
yelling.
You see the waveforms on the audio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care what order we go in first, so I mean, it's whatevs.
Beginning of the night, Cillian. Hello.
Okay, I'll go first then, or we'll go first.
Yeah, I figured
Um,
Cillian was typically the type who liked to watch
Mhm.
first so he could sleep longer and not have to be awoken early or middle of the
Yes.
Love
night.
you,
Ah,
sleep
First
boy.
watch, favorite watch. Cillian is using the thing I can do to switch the proficiency thing back to Weaver's tools. So I'm talking with Great Aunt something.
Marjorie.
And instead of like silently, he's like angrily. he's working on a little project.
Vicious
Actually-
crochet.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Agrio's just like sitting on the lip of the forge with like his hammer rested in the coals, just occasionally scooping charcoal into it, heating a bar of metal, letting it cool, heating it, cooling it, heating it. And looks over at Cillian, distraught but determined to keep trying to go. Has curiosity never dragged you somewhere you shouldn't be? Never brought you somewhere that you seen something you shouldn't have seen, done something you shouldn't have done?
You're describing my life, Acrio.
Then why are you so against going now? Maybe there's nothing, but maybe there's something. That curiosity doesn't burn in your stomach?
It's just a little hard to feel excited.
I know.
And you're looking at me like a different person, and I can't just be nice to you for that. And I know it's not your fault, but fucking damn it. You sound like a stranger to me, and that's the unfair thing, okay?
Holy God, I forgot who Cillian is for a second there.
Well, he's the one you
Like-
have to convince the most to come with you because you don't know how he's gonna react to it.
Yeah. There's something out there. I know it. Things don't just happen for a reason. And I know we're not great at the moment. But we ended up defending my hometown and you were there for it. So obviously you didn't come just for funsies. There was a reason you were there.
I think so too. It's just that right now, to me, following the first thing on the path is, I don't know.
I know.
I fucking miss you, man. Okay. And it's hard to put into words, so I'm just gonna ask a different question. I'm making something for Lorelei. It's gloves, and I was wondering if, I don't know, do you think she would like something on it? Just pure black? Just, I don't know. You know her better than me.
Thinking back, how often did Acrio really even interact with Lorelei over the month that they spent together at the forge?
Very little.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I mean, she was out getting leeches, and I was...
Because you were busy!
I was busy the entire time. I'm always busy. I'm not sure. I don't know. I know she likes blue. I don't...
I'll just listen then. It's fine. I'll come up with something. They're not even done anyway.
Oh, that feels
I
horrible.
thought maybe you knew she liked... I mean, she likes the moon, I guess.
I don't know. Patterns just don't really seem her thing.
Yeah, that's sort of what I was struggling with.
Yeah.
You know, not too, I don't know, vibrant.
Yeah.
But I also don't
definitely
want to
not
add
what you're
a
wearing.
lot more to the whole funeral
Yeah.
director thing.
I feel like a simple pair that serves its purpose. And she likes sticking her fingers in the dirt a lot. So, like, fingerless gloves, maybe?
That was gross.
She does have dirty fingernails almost all the time, because she
It's
just...
part of why I want to give her the gloves.
Yeah. Maybe I should, like, make, like, a cuticle cleaner?
The most romantic gift ever, Acrio. I love it.
Pulls, like, the metal thing out of the fire, like, should I make...
Wait, hold on. I have something for this. Give me a second.
I'm sorry I yelled at you. I'm not mad at you or Lorelei.
Yeah,
Hey!
that. Exactly. Yeah, I get it. Nobody wants to wander off into another, what could be a shitstorm, to put it simply.
That's the thing. I kind of do want to, though. I like veering off the path. That's where the most interesting places are.
That's exactly.
I just needed to yell a bit, you know.
All
I
right.
just needed to yell a bit.
Well, it's good that I know that about you now.
Well, you go and make your dirt remover, and I'll try to pick this up again, because as soon as I stop doing something, I completely forget how it works. So I just need to, you know,
Yeah,
catch up. Thanks for talking with me.
it was a good talk. I'm glad you don't completely hate the idea.
No, I couldn't. I'm with you guys. Don't
Slight
tell
reality
anyone
check, though.
about... Yeah, sure.
Slight reality check that I very much don't know much about Lorelei.
Well, start asking her things then. Because I don't think I'm wrong in... I don't know. Tell her more. Sure, she'll love it. Even the boring things you have to do with the forge. I think she just likes listening.
I don't know, people tend to get quite annoyed when I go off.
Maybe it was the going off and less the forging. The watch will pass quietly. The wind will pick up. It's strange because it almost feels like a heavy, humid wind, but the ground is still parched and kicking up dust at you. Tumbleweeds will blow just in the edge of the firelight.
Yeah, Amrita's probably sitting on the opposite side of the fire. She's got a book open that Lorelei sees writing in, but she like quickly shuts it and like puts a lock on it and locks it, sticks it in a bag.
Sorry, I wasn't looking. I wasn't looking.
No, I needed to stop for a moment. I hate this region. It's too dusty. I didn't like it when I first came here, and I still don't like it.
I guess I've just gotten used to it. Forgotten what it's like beyond here.
Anyway, so you really kissed Acrio. that wasn't
That's how
a
we're starting
lie.
this conversation.
I don't know how else to start the conversation. I'm just confirming something that is not a lie or a joke.
I mean, you were.
I wasn't. I
you
was
saw it?
running to the fire.
Huh.
I didn't see it.
Wow.
But
I thought I thought I knew where everyone was at that moment.
can't know where everyone is all the time.
Well, yes, I did.
Anyway, I need you to be honest with me. How did I end up on that bridge in Braylet? Did I go there myself? But I woke up and all three of you were there. So tell me how bad it was.
It's pretty bad. It's not something I ever want to see happen to you again.
I don't have to describe all the specific details, but a few things, if you could. I can't. Some things are fuzzy.
Well, some of your we found some of your clothes lying in the field. And I think Asuriel found you first. And you weren't fully there. I think you were just thinking back to Isabella's manor, and that's why your mind was stuck in that moment. I get it. My mind gets stuck places too. Sometimes I just open my eyes and then, oh, I'm somewhere else, and then I open them again and I'm back where I am.
Yeah. The manor. If I was there mentally in my mind, then where were the rest of you if Asuriel found me?
Well, Acrio was still getting the cart from the forge. That's why he found us the next day. He wasn't there. But I'd heard something out in the night, and it wasn't dawn yet, and I know you said not to come looking for you unless you went back by dawn, but I was just really worried. So I got Cillian and I got Asuriel. They were both kind of tipsy, but they came anyway. And we came to find you.
That's a joke, right? Yeah. Cillian came with you while he was drinking.
Well, laugh at it all you want, but Cillian was the one who in the end cut the eye out of your head.
What?
Yeah. I tried to do it. I really did. I tried, but I couldn't quite get it. But that curse removing spell that I have, I had to do it twice, because the first time it kind of squaggled out and then squaggled back in, and then I tried to pry it out and it just wasn't coming, so I cast the spell again, and then it squaggled out, and then I got Cillian to get in and cut it out, and then we put it in a jar and Asuriel blasted it, and now my leeches are homeless.
That's a lot of information. But tell me something else. If I wasn't all there... She stares at the fire and she dazes out for a second. Like she can't think it or bring it to words, but moves up and looks at Lorelei in the eyes. Did I not recognize anyone?
You recognize me, I think. You thought Asuriel was Isabella. You're calling her Lady Flint. That was weird. And I think you got Cillian confused with Repellum, which is the bizarrest, but really funny.
I briefly forgot who he was.
Yeah. It was like this whole up until now had been a dream, and then it was like your brain had just woken back up. But you are here. And I mean, you came back eventually, but you passed out. I tried talking you down, but I'm not trained for that.
So, fuck it. I made a deal with Sir Lane about something.
I'm afraid of where this is going.
I asked him, because when he kind of helped with the eye a while back, I made a deal for him for Cillian, so he wouldn't be forgotten. Whether or not Sir Lane appears or not, but he knew what it was. He knew that curse when I described it. He called it Oblivion.
Hey?
And he said he'd get back to me on it.
Well, that's great. Did Have you talked to Cillian about it?
Fuck
Have
no.
Have you talked to Cillian about anything?
Takes a drink of her water flask. I have not.
Are you avoiding him? You can tell me. I won't say a word.
Perhaps.
I just hope it whatever is happening, because there's something going on. It's like you can cut the tension with a knife, Amrita. Like just straight through. It is palpable. There's something has happened, good or bad, between the two of you, and clearly there's something that just isn't being said. And I get it, you're not really a talker. That's fine. You don't have to be. But I don't know. One word in the positive or negative? Because I get the impression Cillian's just kind of running with his own imagination right now, so...
Like Lorelei should roll a persuasion check if she wants to talk more on this. For Amrita, like...
What, to see if it fucking... Alright.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm proficient in that. Fuck you. No, I'm not.
Well, it's getting late, but... No, he doesn't know that. Maybe I'll tell him. Maybe I won't. But
I think you
sooner or
should.
later... Sooner or later... I will see Sir Lane. And I will owe him a favor. But no one else has to be involved.
Please be careful. Because if you do something... Right. You have a favor from Sir Lane. He asks you to do something batshit. This favor is for Cillian. Cillian finds out that you did this batshit favor in order to help him. He's going to be upset. And then he's probably going to yell. Probably at me. So just think about it. I don't want to get yelled at again. Please. So just... Doesn't hurt just to say even a little bit.
Well, I think we should get some rest.
Think it over. I know you've been through a lot, but take some time to just ponder it.
Oh, perhaps.
Gently pat her on the arm. Gently, gently. Go sleep.
Yep.
Does Asuriel want to talk to the owls? Or the prairie dogs?
She probably will. She'll also say a quick prayer to Relis.
One of us here is infected by an owl.
Sterling would be the one who says who. But anyway, she'll throw out a quick prayer to Aurelis. The same, usually like watch over us, protect us, but this time she says, I really hope I get to see you soon. Again.
As is so often the case with prayer, there's no tangible answer.
She'll just sit on the roof of the cart and just watch.
The sun will rise. Behind the clouds still, just that hazy light coming over the mountains.
I'm guessing we do a swiggity swooty detect magic and it just disappears.
The thing about it is it's remarkably faint. Like even more so than just right around this cryptic monolith. You still find trace evidence of what it feels similar to Asuriel, to a ley line or ley ring, but it's like even more faint than what normally is, which is almost imperceptible to begin with. And the cart is having trouble as you're getting into the more treacherous areas at the base of the mountains. As they start to climb, you're not able to find enough paths for the horses to even take.
There's a disappointment that it wasn't something, but a relief that it wasn't something bad. He just, like, off the cart, he just rests his hands on the ground, or one hand on the ground, and looks up the side of the mountain. Well, at least it was nothing. And he pops back on the cart, little dejected, but with nothing bad happening. Then they
I
can
once
carry
bet
on.
a gold piece to my cousin Maz that there'd be treasure in a cave. There was a bear. We narrowly escaped. Kind of want to extend that story to, like, I've gone looking for things and fucked it up, and all the time. And I want to use Inspiring Leader.
Sure. There's an old Vistani expression related to stories like that about chasing fairies. And it's this idea that, yeah, there might not be anything there, but sometimes the pursuit is more valuable than the destination.
Yes, exactly what I was trying to tell. Thank you. So what is that now? 9, I think?
If you have a +4 charisma, then yes. So yeah, everybody gets a 9 temp HP.
9.
After that investigation, we can probably go back.
We can go kill the beast now.
I start practicing swinging the rope with the hook I have at my belt, and just sort of start getting a feel for it because I haven't used it in a while.
It would be useful for rock climbing. Not as quite as useful as for scaling buildings that need to be broken into, but you know,
Yes.
you work with what you have.
It's technically rock climbing if it's made of stone.
What, are you gonna keep climbing the mountain?
Well, I was planning on sort of throwing it around a creature, letting it hook, and maybe pin it as an option.
Or it takes you away like the horse. Hey, and then you know where it's
I might
is.
find B in the sky, though. That'd be...
You might find B.
Just immediately, as soon as like...
In the distance.
Yeah, so...
Yeah. Head back
There's
the way we
nothing there.
came. Yeah.
And I guess we'll camp at the rock again at nightfall.
Yeah.
If you push hard, you can make it back to the road. Potentially, if you want to veer a little further north, you can be past. But if you want to head back specifically down the trail of the mana,
way we
follow
already
that
know.
back just to make sure, you stay on course. Then you are able to do so. Push through, making it pretty late into the evening, but coming upon this Cryptolith once again. Yeah, unless you guys have anything else you want to do at the Cryptolith or on the road.
Taking the rock with me.
Which rock?
The
whole thing?
No, just like the top portion. Gonna smack it off the top, take it, put it on the forge cart, bringing it with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you even break it off? Is it
That's what I was gonna say.
I have chisels and I have a hammer or not chisels, like metal.
Wedges.
Yeah,
Like
wedges.
pitons, basically.
Because pickaxes aren't actually used for stone; they're used for dirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Minecraft
so
lied
are
to
you gonna
me.
do that like late in the night when you first arrive, or wait till morning?
Probably first in the morning. That's when all the creatures start to take their nappies after they've killed everybody on the first and second watch.
Mm-hmm. The late sleepers are awakened to the sound of pings and hammers and stone chipping, and eventually this clattering sound of rock as the point of this thing falls and slides and hits the earth. Acrio, you see that shimmer, that little distortion that just has the edge of blue to it, fizzle out.
I had a feeling. I want to see if it grows back if we ever come by here again.
Sure.
And
You have the point of the stone. You probably got a good 2 feet. You know, it is strangely conical, which is very unusual stone formation. So yeah, do with that as you will.
That would make a good anvil, by chance. Oddly enough, it's very anvil shaped. Put that over there.
Don't know how much stone will hold up to being beat on constantly, but you know.
Surprisingly well. It's only bad because it sucks the heat out of the metal.
I like to think that in universe this is Acrio going like, actually, to the own thoughts in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Acrio's
what stone
brain
hold up really well in an anvil? And he's like, actually.
I mean, I've never hit things on. I mean, like, put something between a stone and the hit. I just broke stones in my landscaping career, and they broke relatively easy under a sledgehammer.
Yeah, I'd imagine Amrita's already also up in the morning.
Fortunately, this little 2-day excursion has not drastically sucked away your supplies. Amrita was able to bolster what food you have, and with there not being any harsh weather, fortunately, a lot of what you had is still in use.
Nice.
And the road is considerably easier to traverse.
Yay.
Laura's in the cart like, finally smooth ground.
Yeah, I'm sure the rough ground on a cart isn't the nicest. Just like
sucks,
on your
sucks.
back, just.
You ever been on like a bus with no suspension? Fuck, it sucks.
Yeah. Acrio's not giddy and he doesn't know what suspension is.
All right, I think everyone should hopefully be good now, yes?
Well, actually, we could check in the opposite direction that it's pointing away from. Sorry, don't hurt
Your
me,
first
Amrita.
perfect joke, Acrio. I'm so proud of you.
Amrita ignores the both of them, but looks at Lorelei and Asuriel.
Cyril is petting the horse.
Starts to ride on then. I will scout ahead.
Alright, let's go kill a big angry creature.
It's fairly easy travel. You don't come across anyone coming down this way. There is still a perception that the Needle's Eye is not to be traveled lightly, and therefore most people simply avoid it, taking the route through Corsiva, despite it being longer. You camp out near the roads. As you approach the Ashmouth and the road goes north over it, past the range, before it reaches the Needle's Eye Pass, this gap between the mountains, you come across a crater, it looks like almost, near the road. The scorch marks on it, they look like fire, but not quite right. There's something red to the edges of these burn marks, just in the dirt itself.
How recent?
Probably about as recent as the Ashmouth erupted.
Okay.
So within the last month. Or just over, I suppose.
Okay.
The further you go, the more of these you find, various sizes. Some of them, they're still like stone and molten, like lava rock that's scattered around. And actually, I will have you for this make survival check. The weather has really dampened anything surrounding any of these little craters and ashy stones. Amrita, you think maybe there's been small creatures that have come up and examined them, but that would have been within the past few days. So other than that, can't find any evidence of anything else that's been near them.
Okay. Just gonna keep an eye out, all senses, for the weird, messed up looking bat creature.
Describe your feelings the night you camp where the road turns and you feel yourself closest to the Voldaran estate. You may have even crossed over that little stone bridge where you encountered a pair of vampires the last time, and now you could actually push on further through the night if you would like, but that's up to you. But you know you're going to have to camp at some point relatively close to the shadow of the Voldarans.
Cillian would argue hardly for sort of keeping in range. Camping.
Of course he would.
Well, I think we just got unlucky that time. It's probably safe to camp here. Wow, I just jinxed that so fucking hard.
Well,
Why
no,
did
it
you
makes
have
sense.
to open your mouth?
No, it makes sense since he forgot and has no idea that Cillian was even bitten to begin with.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about Cillian. I was.
Well,
I mean,
you wouldn't, is the thing.
Barely
with
remember that
vampires,
guy.
Though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know
He
that
doesn't,
guy.
yeah, he doesn't
I
even
just,
remember that happened.
I just know I
Yeah.
got beaten with an inch of my life here. I still remember that part.
Who would like to roll for a random encounter?
Uh,
D12, please.
I'll
Do I
do
still have to
it.
fuck around? Nah, let's let Danielle fuck around and find out.
Yeah, you already did a D12.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't have a good feeling about this.
neither do I.
Run! Go!
What does that mean?
That means bad.
That's
don't
the
want
worst possible.
You don't want the same number.
That's what you would call a major encounter. So yeah, Acrio thinks it's fine. Cillian is actually cool with camping. What was everyone else's vibe going into this?
Lorelei is sort of... She doesn't enjoy the prospect of being near vampires. That, and also Amrita's little dip into minor psychosis, a couple days ago, is sort of bringing up a lot of, old wounds about, what happened around, Isabella's manor. So, that's sort of fresh on Lorelei's mind at this point, and that's kind of really all she can think about. She just doesn't want to get involved with vampires and have, same thing happen again.
You're just going with the flow. So, you fucking jinxed it!
I do think Asuriel, and she can, consciously fight this if she would choose to, but there's a natural inclination just at the mention of them as a repulsion. Even the idea of vampires is just disgusting to her. Did she ever meet? She was there once in the presence of William, right?
No, I don't think she was. It was
she may not have even encountered
Lorelei.
him. No.
Yeah, she didn't encounter William. She only encountered Sir Lane.
She did, however, observe and medically treat Werther. So yeah, you've seen some of the after effects of vampiric encounters, and sometimes even the lesser ones. I mean, you did combat Mr. Pierce. That would have been the only one that you can really cognitively remember, and he was distasteful, shall we say.
Yeah, she'll go with whatever the party wants, but she seems a little twitchy around here.
I don't like staying here. I'll say it now. I know it's late, but I do not. Considering one of us got bit last time, I would rather not stay here.
Listen, something's going on with them, and I think they're too busy with their turf wars to care about us.
Maybe they need a pre-game snack while they fight each other.
Maybe they'll just leave us alone.
Or just give them what they want.
Well, we did just kill a demon, and we are at full power now.
One should not be cocky, even if killing a devil or demon.
Who was
One
the
should
one who
always
was
be
just... I have a really bad memory out of character, but Acrio probably has a slightly better memory. Who the fuck was like, yeah, we just killed a demon, this is fine? Before this point, when we were like, someone definitely fucking speak up, you little shits.
I think I did.
It wasn't me, man.
Cillian's had that attitude for the most part.
Yeah, so you're
I kind of carried him
fine.
through to now. He's like, probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was Amrita.
No.
Rita's
Fuck, what are you talking about?
even on a hunt for monsters, she's always like, we have to be cautious about this because this could go sideways.
Yeah. Fine, we can set up watches then. I'll take 2 watches even. One with the Asuriel and one with whoever else.
Acrio, can I take watch with you?
You were free to do so.
It's okay, I can watch by myself. I did it last time.
No.
No. It's fine. It's fine.
As I said, I will take. As I said, I can take 2 watches or
I have
one.
a hole in your brain. I will take 2 watches.
As you are discussing this,
Oh, fuck.
there's a luminescence that almost strikes your faces. A brightness that you haven't encountered at this hour before, long after sundown. You look up and it appears the clouds have parted above you. The stars are visible for once, and you can even catch the edge of the moon. It is nearly full.
Oh.
Now that you are into the harvest moon, it's got just a tinge of yellow to it.
Yeah, Amrita just finds herself caught, just staring upwards. at the stars and at it.
As some of you remain transfixed on this sight, you haven't witnessed in some of you years, spending time in the overcast region of the vampires in Stinzia. There's another light that you might have missed otherwise, but it is winged, and you catch the shape of these eyes that seem to glow and a pair of blades that she is carrying as she swoops, not close enough to interact with, still a good ways away, but you know angels are impressive in stature, as she seems to be traveling similar in direction to the way you have been, a northeastern flight pattern as she crosses over you.
I have our
Excitement.
swords.
Can I have a shroud?
Just make a
Old
shroud.
friend, Asuriel?
Not all angels know each other.
Maybe. Well, somehow Cithabella knew me. And I didn't even know I was an angel.
I've been seeing so many angels lately.
This is good, right?
No, that's what happens when you start killing more and more dangerous things.
Cyril is like waving at her.
There's no reply or even recognition that you're in the area. She seems to be singular in purpose, as so many angels are. When you see them fly overhead, it's usually because they have some reason.
Is this breaking of the clouds like following her? Or is it...
Seems to be. Like, it's in the presence. It's not like the wake behind a boat, but it is in her presence as she passes. There's some time, but eventually the clouds themselves do start to reform.
Maybe she's gonna help with the devils that escaped from the Ashmouth. Cithabella did say that a lot of angels were just going around killing as many as they could.
Well, let's
It's a
hope we
good
don't run
guess.
into any.
Cyril throws up a little prayer to her, is like, "May your sword be true, and may the moon light your path."
Does the moon disappear, I assume, back behind the clouds?
Eventually.
Yeah, she still stares up at the sky a little bit longer. And just like says it like quietly to herself, but like whoever's nearby probably like hears it. It's already been a year. Oh. Watches.
I'll
I don't
go on
like
my
it.
own. It's fine, please. I'm never alone anyway.
All right. I will take third.
I'll take second, actually.
Ew.
Amrita and Asuriel hanging out on the first.
Cyril's gonna slack off on her watch and be mostly looking at the sky. Because that was the first time she remembers seeing stars.
Mm-hmm.
Amrita's probably back, has that book that Lorelei would have seen her with, just busy in that.
Probably gonna ask what she's reading. Very obviously spying over her shoulder.
She actually looks like she's drawing something. It's like, "Ugh, don't do that." And it's really nothing. She's gonna try and like close it close to her.
Okay. And she'll go back on to perch on the cart.
In the wake of an angel passing over, the night is quiet. There are chirps of crickets and other mountain wildlife, but nothing threatening. It almost seems that even the predators of the evening have gone quiet.
Yeah, Amrita's going to listen in the distance, though. Like, does she hear any more of other sounds that didn't sound like they were wolves at all? Or is that more in the other direction?
Not in this region, and not, as I said, it's almost like there's a stillness to the mountains after you've seen this shrouded angelic form. You would have expected to hear wolf cries at the sight of the moon, but not even that.
See anything, Asuriel?
Nope.
That's good. Well,
It's really quiet. It's nice. I'm just trying to think if I might have known her at some point. Just can't get past this block in my mind.
Amrita will shut the book and lock it again, setting it down with her stuff. Go over by Asuriel and sort of like look up at the sky. There's probably a lot of people you forgot, which is unfortunate. There's no telling.
I know, I've been thinking about that a lot. That's why I really want to see if we can help Cillian. I've forgotten so many. I don't want to forget one of the first people I can remember. Nobody deserves to be forgotten. I wish I could have said goodbye to everyone back in Braylett too.
Well, Acrio probably just had his reasons still, which is fine. But yeah, even if some people get under your skin about things, they don't deserve a fate like that. I'm sure we can find a way to help him.
I'm sure we can. I just hope it's on time. I've been writing a journal to make sure that even if we weren't able to help him before, that we could help anyone else, maybe, if they have it too. Like this, there's some record of him.
Marita's gonna walk back over, pick up the book that she's been holding on to, and she'll hand it to Asuriel. She's gonna hold on to the lock. It's like, flip through the pages. I need a second opinion.
Oh, okay. Start flipping through.
Ignore anything that I've written in Angelica as code for myself. But look at the images directly. Probably this one right here. She like points and it has like 3 pictures that are different angles or like expressions like sketched out. Do you think that well, what do they say? Captures, I mean, Cillian's sometimes probably arrogant and stuff like that. What do you... Does that capture his person? Yes?
I'm gonna do a calligrapher's tools to see how in-depth she gets about this.
Do it. You can use int or dex.
I'll go with intelligence, yeah. She seems to know a strange amount about art, it seems. She comments like maybe the curve of his nose is maybe just a little more like this, and just a slight quirk on the expression that she notices. Like, otherwise these are really nice. I didn't know you could draw so well.
Well, you think that looks like him? Close enough, anyway.
I can definitely tell it's him.
That is my own way of not forgetting. And she quickly takes the book back and locks it, so she can't see like anything else that's in it. I did a lot of sketching growing up before. Had to do it for monsters and my own research, but
that's really cool. Well, that's really nice. I hope we share a few more pictures in the future.
Of him or other pictures such as any of you. I could probably sketch something.
Either or both?
I'll keep it in mind.
Wait, can I see if I can try drawing you? And she'll get out her own journal and try and draw Amrita's face.
I don't think now is a good time for that. Asuriel.
Asuriel's memories don't include a ton of people, she may be able to do so simply from memory if Amrita doesn't want to pose. That's up to you.
Yeah, she'll try. She's like, the night's peace is gone very peaceful since the angel came by, so she feels safe enough.
You're one of the people that's currently asleep.
All right. Would you? Yeah. Would you mind waking Cillian up? I think I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
It's his watch, so. Yeah.
She'll go knock. No, she's not gonna knock. She's gonna go inside the tent and shake Cillian awake.
I don't even think he has a tent. He just like sleeps on his bedroll with his head leaning up against Wingman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, scenarios.
Yeah,
God.
Wingman!
Wingman! Speaking of.
Yeah, she'll go over to him and gently shake him awake. Like, hey, it's your watch.
Of course it is. Why did it choose second?
I don't know.
All the blood in his brain was somewhere else when he was thinking.
Felt vaguely masochistic this evening. Must have been the vampires.
Yes. All right, go to sleep. It's my turn. I'm
Okay.
here.
You sure?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. Well, see you in the morning. It's pretty peaceful out there.
Hopefully.
And she'll go to bed.
Cillian is just gonna sit, sort of facing north, where he assumes the Voldaren are. Just sits slowly working on his gift to Lorelei, sort of talking with Riken, but mostly just sitting with his own thoughts. And he's kind of staring, sort of hoping that someone will show up.
And like so many prayers before, goes unanswered. However, could I have you make a Weaver's Tools check through Dex?
Yes. Oh, I don't really have... I didn't add it, so I'm just gonna do a Dex save, and it will be the same.
Sure. Even your great aunt is fairly impressed with the final result. Like, you still have to finish the cuff of one, so they're not exactly done, but looking at them...
What do you think, Greg? Fits with her, right?
Can't say I paid that much attention to her hands, but probably.
Hey, I can't really discuss this with anyone in the party, so I'm gonna float you something.
That's why I'm here. Well, probably. Who knows why we're here?
Yeah, haven't really discovered the reason yet. So this Oblivion fuck that's sort of hanging over me, who made Acrio forget me, he seems to... He's waiting, but he's frustrated that he's waiting, so I don't think he has power yet. And he's waiting for me to die, like all the guys surround me, they're waiting for me. What if I don't?
Not sure I'm the one to talk to about that. I can't help but wonder what would happen to the rest of us. We've always been in this cycle. The Vaporway moves us from one to another. I don't know how long that would last.
But I mean,
Besides,
there's
I've told you this before. I don't entirely remember who I was when I had a body. I've become, and we all have, we've become more like you. And then whoever we're on next will absorb part of them. I do wonder, though. I can't even begin to describe what I saw in that room. It's beyond words, but maybe you should talk to the one you saw. It's been a while.
think you'd listen.
That's why we're here.
I think I know how. the same way I call any relative to me. Which is easy because, like Reigen is saying, they're already me.
In a way.
So, in my mind, the only step he has to take is looking for the thing he's hiding from himself. And he tries to call to his dad.
Which skill do you think you would like to have associated when you gain the proficiency from him? You don't have to use it now, but just for reference.
I think Arcana makes the most sense. Intelligence is a lot about things outside yourself, and I guess wisdom is within yourself. But to bridge that, I think he's always just used what he's known and his own wisdom to use it. And I think he's growing to understand himself and the people around him more, even if his younger self would disagree. So that's why I think I want to lean into intelligence more.
Sure. Typically, I would not do this, but would you be cool with flashing forward and then at the start of next session having a flashback to this conversation to give me a little bit of time to think about Lynn
Yes.
Jr.?
You're more than good. And I think even narratively that works because he's hiding from from the rest of the party.
What are you gonna
Okay.
log in at a half an hour early?
I'm sure there's like a metal thing on the cart, and I go next to Acrio and I to wake him up.
Stone cold still out. Even after like the loud metal banging, just
That would
dead.
wake Lorelei up from a distance, though.
The rest of the encampment stirs. Acrio has to physically be shoved.
Yeah. Yeah, the first shove gets him up.
What? It's the next watch.
What? Watch, right. Okay.
Why the dinging? Why
Sorry.
the dinging? Not you.
I wanted to wake him up with something that's close to himself. Seems
Cool,
like naturally awaken, you know. I think he's heard it a ton of times in the Forge, so I was like, oh, you know,
Did
it
it
feels
ever
like
occur to you
home.
that when this is happening in the Forge, it's because he's doing it and he's not waking up to it?
Oh,
I also
I'm sure
can't
he's
hear it
woken
anymore.
up.
My hearing is
at the
just
Forge.
completely shot at this point.
Forge-induced tinnitus.
Anyway, time for me to sleep.
You cut to like a POV of Acrio, and it's just always
Oh, that sucks.
Acrio during his watch after waking up will entirely be spent hovering around the rock.
The one chipped off of the monolith.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like he has.
What would you say is a prominent rock that's found near Braylet? What do they harvest quite often there?
Probably limestone, because that's used to make clay. I believe, or cement. It's used to make cement. And they probably have like some amount of cement structures, clay structures, less trees, so less wooden structures.
You would know, and almost it felt odd traveling anywhere else in Innistrad. The first time you left, it was weird to see structures that were not clay tile roofs. It's almost entirely what you find in Stensia, because there is an abundance of stone and clay to be made. So yeah, anywhere else when you left, you're like, why are they not? What's with these weird thatch roofs? This thing could set on fire at a moment's notice.
What is this shit?
Thomas had never seen
So
some
yeah,
bullshit before.
it does seem to be made of limestone.
Yeah, and it's less that he's looking at the rock itself, but like I don't even think like any of the normal anvils in the forge are quite as perfectly flat as this rock is, except maybe his hammer and the angelic forge. So he's just observing and appreciating and confused by just how the geometric lack of imperfection.
After sort of pacing around on watch for a bit,
Lorelei walks over and she sits on the other side of the stone, like opposite, like it's a table between them.
Despite being like this long.
Yeah, well, I'm just sitting in his eye shot. Sorry there wasn't anything there.
It's not terrible that there wasn't something there.
I know, but
It's just odd. It's geometrically perfect. It rose out of the ground and then just stopped. Like there's something stop it or telling it to raise to that height and be attracted in a direction, but there's nothing else. There's no reason for it growing. There's nothing at the destination. It's geometrically perfect on its surface, but there's nothing else.
do you think maybe the mana is what made it stop? Like maybe, although mana is usually pretty volatile.
But if it's a vein underneath the ground, then it probably swirls and curves and it doesn't work the same. I don't know, but it's just, why here? Why now? It wasn't here when we came, and we left what, a week later, maybe? Oh, a month later.
A month.
Forgot about the time skip.
All good.
I don't know. It's bizarre. I am kind of sad that there wasn't anything at the end of it. But maybe we just didn't go far enough.
Thank you for the lie, by the way. Those 2 days definitely weren't going to buy us any more rest. If anything, if we found something, then we'd have to fight, work, or climb our way through it, and we'd be even worse off than before. But at least it helped.
I didn't lie.
Thank you regardless.
I've just never seen you so excited about anything.
It's so... Like, every odd thing that we run into tries to kill us, and then we find something that just exists. It has no purpose. It's not malicious. It's not here to destroy, break, or kill anything. It's just something that's grown, solid stone that's grown from the ground for no reason.
Well, no reason that we know yet. There's got to be a reason.
Maybe
we'll figure it out sometime. Clearly, whatever made it is much bigger than we are, so who can blame us for not figuring it out straight away?
It's like, what I make has always been metal, and it's just watching, like, the way my magic works, it almost it pulls things together. But the way this works is it works like nature. It's I don't even know.
I think Acrio would almost instinctively look to the hammer that he's carried with him for so long, and the fact that it is primarily composed, at least on the head, of stone, and doesn't quite function the way stone should. Similarly to this Cryptolith, it's stronger, more hardy, it doesn't crack, it's infused with mana, but at the same time it doesn't appear as though really, maybe at one point it did, but now it doesn't really look to have been worked by, chisel and whatever else you would need to form stone into that shape.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just the wear of time on it, but
nature does its thing, and I work with metal, but I've never seen something mold stone like clay or wood or a plant. So
which is weird. Magic is weird. I mean, maybe it was an angelic thing in response to the Ashmouth? Like, bring out the anti-fiend pillars or something. I don't know. I'm not an angel.
If we find more, that'll certainly be a sight to see. But I wonder if there are more, are they all at the same elevation? Are they all flat within the same plane? Like if we go to a deep valley and it grows from there, will it go hundreds of feet up in the air to be at the same level as the other one that's at a different height? I don't know.
You don't care.
And,
where
like-
it leads. You don't care where it leads at all, do you? You just want to know what made it.
I want to know a lot of things about it.
Well, then I'm glad I thought to go and find it. Because I have never seen you light up about anything than I have about this.
It's pretty cool.
It's great seeing you really happy.
Back to looking at the rock.
It's like, cool, thanks, go away now, girl. I have work to do.
Me go rock.
Ask
And
your
then,
favorite
like-
color.
And then
Ask
like
your cup
as she's-
size.
Yeah. But shut the fuck up. If Lorelei goes back to watching, he'll like look up for a second, but then get pulled back into rock. And
Yes,
look
me and
up
my
and then
boyfriend and
rock.
his giant 2-foot long slab of rock that he got from a cryptolith.
Wow.
The following day, you enter the Needle's Eye Pass, the proper winding, coursing, narrow road through the mountains in the shadow of the Ashmouth. Who would be taking the lead? Who's taking point? What's the marching order for this?
I'll throw up front. Yeah. Just like, "Bleh. All right, we can go here." Bleh.
Okay.
Follow the
Um,
bomb trail.
Yeah.
Go in the back.
So you're not going to have anyone in front of the cart, forge wagon, and your 4 horses?
No, I'll be on the front horse, and Lorelei can, like, I'll just be sitting on the front horse. How fast are we going? Can I walk it?
I mean, so the thing about it is you can travel the way I do it is if people are on foot, you can travel 1 hex per day at a marching pace, like a forced march. If everyone's mounted, you can make it 2 hexes, and flying you could make it 3, but
Only one of
that
us
would
can do that.
would assume everyone can fly and can't. So
Uh,
if you want to walk it, it'll slow you down, but at the same time, the Needle's Eye Pass is treacherous anyway. It might not be a bad idea at a lot of points to guide the horses anyway.
Yeah, I'll sit on the front horse, but then if things need to be cleared or the horses need to be led through something, then I'll hop off.
Yeah, actually, how is Petunia doing at this point, Jay? I'm very concerned.
The higher the altitude, the more it does seem that she's like struggling,
Oh no.
like just breathing is becoming more difficult.
All right, yeah. Rita's gonna get off and just guide her upward.
How badly is visibility impaired by the cart being at front?
I mean, it depends on the curve, the
No,
angle
that's
that
true.
you have to travel, but for the most part, it's almost impossible to see what's in front directly on the path with the wagon that really covers like
Mhm.
most of these narrow causeways.
Right, we're gonna need some great communication if we do it this way, Acrio.
If,
This group's strong suit.
hey, Amrita, if you're going to be walking Petunia, do you want to swap out with Lorelei? Have you up front on the cart, and Lorelei will take care of your horse?
I thought maybe Cillian meant in terms of vision, or am I wrong?
Well, the person who sees the best is currently in the back.
I feel like you'd know what to look out for, Amrita. I'm with Acrio.
I think he like sees her briefly reach up to like her forehead, but like quickly like puts it down and disregards it. Yeah. Quickly we'll switch places with Lorelei then. It's like, keep an eye on her. She's breathing rather slowly, so it's quite exhausting. But
Okay.
just hold on to the reins.
Just gonna gently pat poor Petunia. Oh, look, rigor mortis has already set in.
Cast Decompose on her.
All right, yeah.
Is it a rock?
Wow.
Decompose doesn't work on rocks, but it does work on horses.
All right, yeah. So,
Acrio, as you were turning this bend, sitting on one of the two lead horses, you're on the sheer, like the wall side where the mountain goes up, and the opposite side is where it drops off. The sun is going down in the far west. The peaks are making almost like jagged, teeth-like shadows in the valleys below you. And as soon as you see it, almost like another signpost, Amrita smells this old blood. And Acrio, you see what appears to be a corpse, partially bloodied, hanging from a rope off of one of the trees that grow out of the side of this cliff, barely clutching on with its own roots. As it kind of like twists in the wind, you can see that pinned to the shirt of this body seems to be a piece of parchment.
Look back at Amrita, and how high up is it?
I mean, ground level, once you reach it.
Got it. I'll just take out my hatchet and kind of...
As you approach, you can see that this corpse, what you thought would have likely been hanging by the neck, is not in fact. It's rope wrapped around one arm, and it's hanging from the arm, just dangling there. The corpse is quite bloodied. Amrita still gets the smell of this. It's dark and scabbed over. But you notice that the hair is long and white, and the face mangled on one side, and it appears that it only has the one arm.
what?
Is it alive? I'll
Make a medicine check.
Yeah.
You can hop off with the hatchet in hand, ready to cut down Lorelei Fenwick.
Yeah, basically hatchet in one hand, hammer in the other in case it's a fucking zombie or something.
Yeah,
Wait,
Rita.
like, have they like stopped fully and like we can all sort of...
Oh yeah. You'll have
Oh.
to make your way around the cart because the path is blocked.
Woo!
What
Yeah,
the
if
hell?
Asuriel's at
What's
the back
going
with
on?
me, I'll get her to
It's-
hold on to Petunia and I'm gonna go up front and
it's-
see what's going on.
It's
Val.
Valerie? What?
Oh,
And as you're approaching Acrio, you see on the pathway in front of you, not far from this corpse, there's this like a decently made but relatively well-used crossbow that's just guarded. It's actually probably loaded but unshot. And as you approach, there's a twitch, and your first instinct is undead, but you hear a breath as it's trying to move, incredibly weak.
Probably a zombie. Just
Remove the hood.
yeah.
turn undead, we have destroy undead, go, 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 go!
And Rita's gonna grab the note from his chest and move out of the way so Lorelei can assess this. But she's gonna open the letter. She stares at it. To whom it may concern, less than wise to wander this way with such tender veins. Or did you think we don't have eyes and mark our territory? Sleep tight.
As I've pushed myself last through the car to see what the fuck is going on, and I see Val, I freak out. I go to Val, come on, is he alive? Acrio, Lorelei, come on, please,
I-
no.
He's alive.
I think he's breathing. Cillian, just... If he
From
wakes up
the-
and sees you panicking, you might make him panic and make it worse. It's just...
Please.
They're from the stupid vampires from the bridge.
Why was he traveling out here
The
alone?
ones that bit Cillian. What?
Oh, this is awful. I'm gonna, like, check Val over a lot more closely. Like, how labored is the breathing? Does it seem like he is about to cack it, or is he, like, just
You
very
can see
weak?
that the hand he's hanging from has gone purple and dark a
Oh.
long time ago. The circulation is questionable that it's even recoverable, honestly.
No arm Val.
Cut that. Get that shit off him immediately.
Well on his way to becoming a
I
nugget.
just cut the rope and let him drop into Lorelei.
He is conscious, but his eye just like flickers and can't really even focus on anything at the moment.
Cillian, talk to him. Talk to him. He's
Val,
partially conscious.
buddy, are you with me? Just, you only have to nod. You only have to nod.
Oh yeah, he's on mute.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, hey! I sort of stroke the hair out of his face to sort of.
It's matted
You're
with
okay.
dried blood.
We found you. You're okay. Why did you come here? You absolute moron! Come on, this is not the place for you. We were coming back to find you. I know you can't. I'm just keeping you here.
I'm gonna sit him down on the cart and I'm gonna start just like gently like massaging the arm that he was tied up by, just to try and like maybe re-encourage circulation.
It's cold.
Oh, that's not looking good for him. Shit.
Glad I'm wearing gloves so I don't
That means he
touch
probably
this.
can't write either.
Just keep him on the bench of the cart. Lay him down.
I feed him some water.
I'm not a fucking motherfucker that gets like 8D million for healing word, but I'll slap him with a... Oh, wait, no. Wait, I don't have cure wounds. Does anyone have cure wounds? That's more effective than healing word.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Wait,
heal
that's-
wounds.
I forget.
Yeah, I will slap a cure wounds on him.
I ain't no life player.
Fucking neither am I. Hey, if he was at 0, that would have been max.
True. Yeah, he is conscious, and these wounds are so old, it almost doesn't seem like it's doing much, but as you're helping the circulation through, with time, there is the faintest amount of color returns to his usually already fairly pale face.
Okay, well, that complicates all of this.
Oh, those fuckers. It was not them then.
It tears up the paper.
Sick.
I mean, they always did say vampires are sadistic, but...
True. And they do have a knack for showmanship.
It's like hanging a deer from a wall in your house, but a lot more fucked up.
I couldn't wait to see you again, Fel, and it seems I could have waited just a little longer.
Fuck.
I'm sorry this happened to you, buddy.
How
Did
much
you-
feeling is there? His hand? Can he move it?
It's a struggle at first. Like, you feel yourself. It's one of those things where you try to mentally will yourself to move, but you can't until you actually like use the instinct of doing so. And it's slow. There's that pins and needles feeling of something that's gone like very numb. But after a while, especially at first, you can't even really feel Lorelei's touch. But first, that's what you recognize, and then after that, you can start to feel your own fingers moving.
Probably like try to grasp for anything that he can use to write. Like try to fumble with the satchel on his belt.
I help him. I give him. You wanna? And I sort of hand him very carefully, making sure to not bend his fingers on my own.
It's like with very shaky hand, like almost like a tremor. He's like trying to scrawl words, which are barely readable at this point. his hand smearing over like parts that he wrote as he writes, "Sorry."
No, don't be sorry, you idiot. You're good. I'm glad we found you in time. I'm sure it was sort of calculated that way. No long answers, promise me. What happened?
Very slowly he writes out, "Beast tried to help."
Well, that's you, Val. You try to help. I'm sorry you get caught up in bullshit, but I am glad to see you.
Like tears welling up in his eyes. He's trying not to cry, so he's just forcing this both relief but also very pained smile as he just nods.
I hug him and close to his ear. I say, "Did you pass your family?"
There is no response, but Cillian would relatively quickly realize by the way Val is shaking that he's crying.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry you had to. I'm sorry you had to. But you're with us now. You're gonna be safe. I promise you.
Tries to hold on to Cillian as best as possible.
What are we doing now? Do we need to wait here?
Ideally, we need to keep going.
He would...
If we wait here, maybe those vampires have a bit more fun and they come for round 2. If we keep moving, we can keep Val on the cart and maybe deal with...
We can keep him on the cart. I can keep an eye on him. And then we can just keep making tracks and get back to civilization.
Yeah, the mention of like vampires, Val would just start squirming, freak out, wide-eyed, almost manic expression to his face, trying to write and just writing "go" over and over.
Yeah.
You read the man.
I can stay in the front with him because Acrio will still need the extra eyes. If you need to sit next to him, Lorelei, we can switch places. It may have to go that bout.
I'll grab the crossbow, load it on the ground, and just unload the bolt. Set it on the cart with Val, and then,
Rita's gonna awkwardly sit on the cart with Val.
I mean, Amrita, you don't have to stay on the cart. I mean, if you don't want to, I mean, I can look after him. It's all right.
Now that you've had a little more chance to get him set up and looking proper, you can see he's got similar attire to what he's worn before, patterned shirts and these baggy pants, but he does also have this leather armor that is mostly tailored, but you see that he looks like he's lost another 10 or 15 pounds since you last met him, and so it's a little bit ill-fitting in that regard.
Fool's errand.
The same one you're on, actually.
Oh, well, you've looked better, Val. We'll soon get you back to Hanson.
Honestly, Val, it's amazing that you survived. There are many, many, many people.
Yeah, that's tight as fuck, man.
Yeah.
No offense, but since you cannot speak and have one arm, writing isn't always going to save you. So, someone here has to teach him some other methods of warning because he can't clearly shout, and not a lot of people can read either. And there's no time to read if someone is scouting ahead. Those are
Smash just to Acrio.
I have some things I used to teach Lahed back in the day. It might work. He couldn't talk either.
And mixed with what I learned from Horus during my less than on the up and up days, I know some useful signs.
Why don't we just teach him to whistle? You don't need Do you need a tongue to do that? I don't
Yes.
think you need to do it with if you have 2 fingers. If you go like,
Don't you need both
It is
hands
still
though?
I mean-
wise.
I mean, out of character, Vol
No.
technically still has his tongue, so...
I was about to say, yeah, he usually has his mouth closed, but yeah, you may have seen he still has his tongue. It's his throat that's scarred up
Yeah.
really
Got
bad,
it.
so it's
So,
vocal
like-
cords that were
Okay, so
severed.
whistling can work.
More than one method should still be applied. So, those are
Okay.
the ground rules. Especially
You guys can
considering-
invent
second
sign
ground-
language.
Second ground rule.
he has 1 hand.
You can sign language
Invent
with one
half
hand.
of sign language.
Yeah,
has
you do
legs,
American
bro.
finger spelling is one hand only.
Either way.
What is he saying? Oh, danger! And then fucking vampire.
It's like, what the fuck is he saying? Shit! Yeah.
Perhaps now would
okay.
be a good start, and we can switch places now. How about that? Sit in
Other
the front
ground
with
rule,
him.
Amrita. Maybe we be a little more empathetic to someone we just cut down from a tree.
Vol just looks at his, like, he tries to, like, make signs, but, like, badly writing and barely gripping a pen seems to be, like, right now, the extent of what he can do.
Mhm.
As he just looks at Amrita for a moment, frowning, looks down.
Just
You're good
Well,
for now, Val.
figure out the details when we get back to town. We don't. He's just cargo right now.
Let's
The
continue
most
then.
important cargo.
And
Yes.
Val, if you,
Forge
if you
itself.
see anything and need anything, just tap your foot. Just kick something.
Onward.
Yes.
Having discovered
A cripple.
another mostly injured human in the past, would the party intend to make their way through as quickly as possible? Or is the intention still to try to lure and potentially confront this creature that has been plaguing the Needle's Eye?
I think we can still fight it.
Yeah.
I think we just
I have extra
leave Val
attack,
out
baby.
of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just don't be like, all right, Val, stand over there and hold this piece of meat above your head.
He
Get
is
this,
the
get
beast
this
of meat.
really
meat,
big
yeah.
target and put it directly in front of you.
Yeah. Be the meat
Yeah.
shield.
So I think if we leave him on the cart,
Yeah,
Then-
for a tarp over him.
Yeah.
yeah, a blanket or
I
something.
hope he's not the only survivor of that as well.
I think. Yeah.
No wagons have ever been attacked in the Needle's Eye. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
If they take one of my horses, I will slit its throat. Then again, they're all
Noted.
tacked together, so it's gonna have to pick
It'll
up
take the whole
4.
fucking cart.
Yeah, it's gonna have
Yeah.
to take a whole cart with it.
And it'll, if we leave Val in the cart, it will take Val too.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to take it anywhere. It's just like
Alright.
a Capri Sun that's sitting right there, like a whole
Oh
pack of them.
no!
Yeah.
Do we actually like need to do a stealth check or anything as well? if we're trying
Depends.
to-
That's
We're
why I was
hunting
asking
it.
what your plan
Yeah.
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
kind of
think that'd
want to be
wise.
seen.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess you're right. We do want to be seen, so we're intentionally.
Yeah, the whole thing.
not.
The whole thing is that you guys want to kill it. Why would we want to
Yeah.
sneak?
I mean, I meant in terms of like setting up bait. So like, could say,
Asuriel
you know what?
freaks out.
Amrita will use herself and lure it out. She could stealth and like try to maybe light fire, maybe or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Be sat like alone by a campfire, and we're all like waiting to jump it as soon as it comes to you.
Yeah. She'll just do that.
Would you like to remain stationary and just hope it moves through the area, or continue moving down the pass and just Amrita could travel ahead, perhaps with a torch, while the rest try to remain in darkness without teetering off the side of a mountain?
Yes.
Oh yeah, we did make ourselves very obvious by carrying torches with us.
Yeah. She's gonna like take off her new boots and like unclasp them and then just lay them on the cart. It's like, all right, I'm gonna go ahead because I can probably, if I can lure it out, track it, maybe try and pin it down. So I'm going to leave and go ahead.
Question. My channel divinity, can I make a giant fucking net with like heavy steel balls at the ends that I can just go "Huh,"
Metal
and then
ballers.
try and
You can certainly try. I mean, you can make it, yes, you can certainly try to use it that way.
That's a good thought,
think
actually.
Takes an hour to do a channel divinity of such.
It will. So hopefully it doesn't come before then, or I'll just have to be like, oh, well, guess I'm not making this.
Smash cut to 59 minutes later. Amrita, can I have you make a perception check? This will use your eyes, so unfortunately, normal roll, you don't have advantage on this.
Fuck off, I don't want to talk
Anymore
about
without
that.
Yeah.
With only
no more
2
demon
eyes.
eye.
Yeah,
Ew.
fuck that demon eye.
Yeah, I didn't need you anyway.
Still an 18.
I'm my own woman.
I'm a strong,
You don't wanna-
independent werewolf.
You don't want to travel too far ahead of the group, just because you don't want to be stuck solo. If you are attacked, you need them to be able to get to you. There's a strangeness carrying this torch. You're so used to just using your own eyes, your own perception at night. It's weird. Everything past the torchlight seems darker than it should. Like, you still have dark vision, but just that perception of having a light near your presence, it almost makes the dark worse. However, you catch out of the corner of your eyes, you're continuing on this trail to what would be your left, to the north, another twinkle of light in the distance. And you recall seeing this the first time you passed through the Needle's Eye. You were, and at the same time now, too far away to really make out what it is, but there is some kind of campfire, torchlight, something a ways off in the distance to the north.
Are there any trails or, like, scents of any kind?
Make a survival check.
Damn, good rolls, Amrita.
Amrita,
Crazy.
there's nothing in your immediate area, but you continue on, maybe another 30 minutes, and it's unused, but you think there's something like a path that was cut once through these mountains heading north. It wouldn't even be really visible if you weren't looking for it. It's overgrown and probably a log that's fallen across it and just rotted there at this point. But you do think there was at one time a path going that direction.
I'm making sure to leave some trail for the others to follow by as well.
I'm sure that they're,
Yeah.
as much as possible, keeping your light in view.
Yep. Then she will go up that trail.
Without even, like, questioning it. You know what? Everybody diverted from me. He turns as well.
Acrio will have a bit of trouble, well, whoever's guiding the cart, because he's working on this something in the back of it, focusing on his divinity.
Yeah.
But yeah, as the cart turns that way and you can see Amrita's light, and the rest of you can now pick up a little more easily this flicker of something orange in the distance. You notice the cart is going to probably have to be cleared path through this direction. It's not quite so easy anymore to bring a cart this way. You guys are going to have to do some clearing.
Shit.
Acrio
Cillian.
tries to, like, lose focus and be like, are we okay up there? But then, like, the thing he's working on starts to fade and he's like, fuck. And he grabs it again. So,
Sure.
Acrio's out for the count.
Physical labor, my favorite.
We all love it. And get out and start clearing this.
I send Reagan forward to Amrita with just a, hey, we're kind of held up. Be careful.
Okay. Be careful. I can wait.
Well, that's warmer than I expected. And Reagan turns back.
From where Val is, can he, like, look outside? Like, to keep
Sure.
an eye on things, if he notices anything weird?
Yes, I would say you were definitely able to do that. Like I said, there's an old cypress tree that had grown up at one time into the past, lived its life, died, and fallen over the passageway. So that has to be moved aside, the remnants of it. There's a lot of, like, scrub brush and that sort of thing that's grown up. You don't really think you have to remove a lot of that. Horses should be able to pull through, but it's going to be a little bit of a trick. And Cillian, as you're working on this, the nights are warm, even up here at this altitude, this time of year. beads of sweat start to form immediately running down your forehead. And you feel a drop on your hand. But looking at it, it's not water and it's not sweat, it's glowing.
What
Radio?
the hell? But guys, are you seeing this?
There are several more drops of this golden, luminescent liquid.
Did a
And-
fucking angel die in the sky?
Instinctively, you look up and you see that shrouded angel, not angle.
Angle.
Could be your angle or your
No.
The
More than
fucking
angle.
angel died.
Verbal typo.
seems to
Fuck.
be in combat with nothing. It's just in the clouds so far. You see the flickers of light from its combat. It is still struggling. Its swords looking like heated metal directly out of the forge, but there's nothing that it's fighting. It's just in the mists above you, and these golden drops continue to rain down on you. And presently it ceases. You see it turning. It's far in the air. I'm assuming Asuriel will probably make her way upward, but before she can reach it, it flies to the north.
We
Interesting.
gotta go, boys.
Wait, wasn't the creature like invisible at times?
It was.
Yes, it was.
I will
yeah,
have you
you're
guys
right.
all make either survival or history checks for your last encounter with this creature.
I better do survival.
Because I think someone just beat us to the punch.
No! I'm sad. But yeah, you're probably right.
It just hit me. I was like, wait a minute.
I have the highest survival.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've done a lot of trekking out in the wilds.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean that,
You literally found like a forge. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Just la 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 la.
Ooh.
Ooh.
First of all, Amrita, tell me what it is that's distracting her. You smell this blood, but it doesn't smell the way you would expect blood to smell. It's almost like that metallic tinge is mixed with incense. And yeah, why is she incapable of thinking about anything else in this moment?
I imagine she's looking around. She's caught off guard for a moment when she hears Rygan speak to her. Like she almost like zones out for a second, and like she thinks of her brief talk with Lorelei about like everything, from talking about Oblivion and then hearing what Asuriel was talking about as well. Like it almost gets her very distracted. Shit.
Acrio and Lorelei, both, your minds instantly flash to this misty shimmer that would come across the beast before it would vanish from sight during that combat. It's hard to know exactly how or why, what's causing it to be able to do this, but certainly the idea of fighting something unseen doesn't seem outside the realm of what you're looking for. Cillian, the thing that you distinctly recall the most, and perhaps you look to the cart where Val is situated, this creature's ability to draw blood from open wounds after it had attacked. It could replenish itself, just not even within direct contact, but could pull some sanguine energy from its victims.
I really hope angel blood isn't steroids for it.
I will say with a 20 Acrio, the other thing that you recall the most is the screeching sound it made, and almost this like, it reminded you of a bats and their echolocation.
Got it. Has it been an hour?
It's close enough that you could probably give it a minute or two and complete your task.
Yeah, it's like the last moments. It's like trying to rush the spell and like trying to pull things together. Can't do it fast enough. Finally, it assembles. He throws it on his belt, hops off the cart, grabs his hammer, and just starts running for where the angel disappeared off to.
How does Amrita
foot.
react seeing Acrio just barreling toward her?
All right. What do we can't leave Val.
We're gonna have to. And he's
Either
just
that or he comes.
Yeah, Cillian, think about it. Which would you rather have?
Val would probably try and pull himself out of the wagon, see if he can like stand or if he like, falls right on his fucking face.
Make a dex save. Or acrobatics check, your choice.
If he falls, I'm going to try to catch him.
I think you're still set to roll to the GM,
Yeah,
however,
yeah.
that was a natural 20. So,
Oh, shit!
while he seems a little shaky first getting out, he falls and, like, at first you think he's, like, going to hit the ground, but he catches himself with his one arm. It's like an impromptu 3-point landing.
If Acrio's coming running,
landing.
I'm gonna give him the torch, and then Emery's gonna, like, also run and pace with him for a bit, but it's like, you take this torch, you can use it more than I can. And she looks at, like, the darkness around her and everything, like, being less distracted. It's like, I can see better without it anyway.
He'll just, like, tuck that in his armpit while his shield is up, and just, like, it's like the flame is resting on his shield going into his face as he runs.
Yeah, Amrita probably gets a little ahead, but she doesn't get too far to where they could still all be in sync, basically.
Why do they always... Just gonna run after them.
I go, keeping pace with Val.
He's probably like leaning a bit on Cillian, but like not too much. Partly because he doesn't want to bother him, and partly because they gotta be somewhat fast. So he knows if he's relying too much on Cillian, it's gonna slow everybody down.
If we don't tie up the horses, will they?
The horses are usually like herd animals to an extent. The 4 that are attached to the cart are not likely to pull it somewhere else without direction,
Sure.
so the others will likely just graze as best they can, staying near the others, just instinctually.
Yeah, that might move like
horses.
5 feet.
Yeah.
The horses, we do a little bit of trolling, misplace
It's
the
like-
cart.
Where the fuck did the cart, or where the fuck did the horses go? We turn like 5 feet to the left. Oh, there they are.
I think
Just
we're behind a rock.
look down in the ravine. Oh, it's down there.
No, they're stupid.
Ah,
The lemming horses.
Minecraft horses.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
oh, jeez.
The other night, you had seen when the clouds parted. That doesn't quite seem to have been the case this evening. However, up ahead, there's almost that, whatever that luminescent beam in the daytime, they sometimes call it a Jacob's ladder, between the clouds where light is shining, and it seems to be angled toward this orange glowing torchlight in the distance. You hadn't seen it before far off, but as you're moving closer, with the sound of water and a creek, possibly a waterfall not too far away, which gives Amrita pause because she's not sure if there's going to be a bridge that's usable. And you haven't even found this stream yet, but makes her question maybe the validity of this path. What are y'all doing?
Fuck.
Eventually you will find this mountain stream and a fairly roiling waterfall falling into this basin. You can look up and you basically have to decide, do you want to try to cross it up above where it seems almost calmer, or in where it hits the stone and becomes more of like a rapids?
I was looking at the combat.
Acrio's gonna try something.
Okay.
Okay.
Just for a second.
All right, Merlin, what's
Right.
this?
Cast creation. Asuriel seems to have no issues whatsoever in this moment.
Cool. Does anyone else want to suddenly remember they're an angel and sprout some wings too?
He's gonna hold his hammer up, and he's gonna try and use the hammer to make rocks move.
Okay.
That exact choice of words.
He's in so much pain.
How
Bit of a
so?
mental breakdown.
I'm gonna try and use the mending feature to make the rocks repair themselves and come back together and make a little bridge of rocks. Because
Make
the
a
water,
religion check.
because the water breaks the rocks down.
Tristan, you sound like you just got told like a family member died in a car crash and you're trying to beg the doctor to fix them.
Oh god.
Religion. I don't know if I'm good at that.
Find
I'll
out.
allow wisdom
wait.
for this because you are a cleric. A wisdom-based religion check.
Sick. That'll be plus 3 more.
Ugh.
So that'll be a 16.
I'm not good at
Okay.
religion, he says +4.
I was about to say.
Give me 1 second.
Why did we have to find the guy with one arm right before we have to swim?
Sorry.
No, I can't swim.
So, Acrio, interestingly,
Uh-oh.
I had, unknown to himself, there are elements of this hammer that he has not yet discovered. There is an awakened state. There are options for how they traverse. It's a skill tree, basically. The paths include the path of the warrior and the path of the creationist, basically. The creationist is almost a lithomancy, which is stone magic. And in this moment, with a 16, how would you say Acrio is able to activate this lithomancy from the hammer?
So he's holding the hammer in one hand, and it's just like his thumb is resting on the stone, and he's just like closing his eyes so he's not looking at the world. He's just trying to imagine that same perfectly flatness of the stone that formed before, but as a path across a river in his mind, and he's just really
Manifesting.
he manifesting.
The rest of you keeping your eyes on the sky, Amrita considering whether it's worth it to try to traverse this cliff above the waterfall. You all feel this tremor in the stone beneath you. The rocks themselves start to vibrate, cracking, some of the water even seeping into some of these new courses. And effectively something between an earth tremor and a mold earth effect occurs as several of the creek bed rocks start to erupt themselves out of the water, creating this path. They're slick and somewhat moss covered, but they do form sort of a natural bridge.
He like opens one eye after like imagining that form in his head, and he's like, holy shit, it actually worked! I actually did that!
The gem, this blue gem at the end of the hammer that hovers above that space, is glowing with a vibrancy you've never seen before.
Lorelei runs up next to him like,
What did you just do?
I don't know. But we have something to kill. Let's go.
Basically, you are going to have access to the mold earth, and any other earthen-based spell can be added to your spell list. It still will require your spell slots to cast them, but your lithomancy is now part of your spell options. And I will send you some of the other information about that. In the future, should also probably be noted that in its awakened state, the Hammer of the Heavens is a +2 magical weapon.
Yeah!
Ooh, damn. What?
Time to use nothing but my hatchet.
Okay. Yeah. Amrita's probably gonna
Holy
watch all of them cross this because she's looking up at the top of there and looking at the water, just like, I did not like that. Not one bit. Nope.
Yeah, Acrio first step, his metal boot slipped and he almost fucking eats shit in the water.
As Acrio did that, Cillian couldn't help but let out, "Fuck yeah!" very loud.
it echoes through the fuck yeah.
Yeah. There goes the last sense Velhas.
And that is what you
God,
hear
I
in
hate
reply.
Can I go home now?
We crossed the beach.
I'm glad I did that earth bending. I'm ready to go home now. Let's just
I'm all
go,
done.
guys. Yeah.
It's like, cool, bye.
Bye.
Yeah, shit. Keep going real fast.
Yeah.
I don't. She's gonna see how the others fare going across. But yeah, she's definitely.
Val probably has the most difficulty, partially just because his pants are like, they're like Aladdin pants, so not the most flexible.
Hopefully.
He'll manage. Everyone will be able to cross these without having to make checks or anything, so.
Still freaks
Amrita
out.
Yeah, last one.
Like the last
on
one,
the other
just like
side.
staring. Yeah.
Still getting with the spray from this nearby waterfall.
Oh, and I'm barefoot, so that's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did leave your boots behind.
Well, it's a smart thing. That way I don't have to fucking kick him off in battle. So. Okay. Like, she's just focusing. Basically, like, she's holding, like, each time, just balancing. Alright.
The rest of the group had to cross this river, the waterfall, where Asuriel was able to just right over the top of it.
The moment she sees there's fucking angel blood raining down on them, yeah, she's up and flying.
Then you are the first to catch sound of like a whistle, like something getting closer, like the sound of something moving through the air rather quickly. It's not dissimilar to the sound you heard before being attacked by the creature the first time you went through this pass.
Extra caution? I'm gonna use my martial feat if it tries to do a little surprise, motherfucker.
Mm-hmm. You are prepared.
I'll end this. I'll tell her to keep it. Yeah, just keep going.
Mm-hmm. The creature, however, does not manifest. You're not met with any collision. Instead, this orange streak just passes by you, and there's that sound where it's like something's coming, and then it like as it goes past you, it starts to fade. You look down. The rest of the party, you hear this thunk as Acrio turns, and you see one of these red hot blades stuck into the ground. And you are all
faster.
Immediately met then with this shower of golden arterial spray.
I'm guessing the angel falls from the sky.
Yeah, we look up.
Real spray's not
Nothing
bad.
else.
Do angels fall when they die?
I think there's a Breaking Benjamin song about that.
There'd be on the Black song about it.
Wow.
According to the art I've seen of angels getting fucking disintegrated, they do have skeletons.
Oh, I hate that.
Ooh.
They are corporeal beings.
But
But no corpse manifests in this moment.
Hey.
just
Yeah.
a lot of bloodshed. So it's not dead yet, possibly.
Arterial spray means we ain't got long.
Yeah.
Serious
see
party
where
the
it went?
fuck up.
Flying
Try to
higher,
find it.
Asuriel, into the clouds above you. At this hour of night, it's almost interesting because the moon and starlight above gives this ambient glow around you in the mists, but at the same time the clouds are dark and partially opaque, making it difficult to see much anything past it, so you have to swoop down lower to get a clear view of things again. This tower that's looming in the distance, glowing with this ever-burning orange light above it, at the base of this colossal peak, that beam of moonlight still seems to shine on it. This whole thing like a torch in the night. You're all moving toward it, but I don't think anybody really knows why. Maybe it's drawing.
As I pass the sword, I grab it.
It is
not hot or
warm to the
anything?
touch. Yeah, it's
Okay.
warm but not scalding.
Pick it up.
It does function as a longsword, should you need one.
Oh, okay. That doesn't
might-
really work. Forgot she was
You
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marie's gonna try and see if she can pinpoint where the heck, or if she hears any flying or smells any blood from the creature.
From the creature, sure, make either perception or survival check. Perception with your smell would have advantage. Oh yeah, that's true.
Roll
Accurate.
20 is, roll 20 is having a delay for me. Hey, baby.
And yeah, it's true. Val had no
Yeah.
idea that this
He's
is
like,
what Asuriel could do.
What?
Probably just a spell.
He's like,
They do magic,
What
don't
what's
worry about it."
happening?
Just a fucking double take.
Mhm.
One of us is
Amrita.
possessed by an owl.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah, Amrita, you almost have. You can keep moving, but you slow down a bit, still in the rear of this group, having crossed last. That smell of the angel's blood that's glowing but starting to dim on the ground is the first thing you smell. Push your senses past that, and it is very distant, but you do catch that rancid almost smell of this creature as well, and its metallic, sanguine odor.
I'm gonna take out my bow and light it on fire and try to aim where, like, she smells it.
It would be outside the range of a longbow.
Should just follow then specifically where it's at, but yeah, I need to roll my freaking whatever it is for Rite of Flame here real quick.
Sure.
Where did it go? D6? Yeah, there it is, D6.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Damn.
Cool.
Okay. Got a flight.
That is what you want to see.
But yeah, they all like see lights like that way. Go in that direction.
And it does seem to be the same direction as this luminescent tower. It is, as you're getting closer, built almost on this cliffside, though you're not sure if that was original or because the stones have eroded with the time next to this flowing water down out of the mountains. Seems to be not incredibly large, but square at the base, and then the upper parts of it have this round, like a massive basin almost at the top of it. And getting closer, presently you don't even really need the torch anymore. Acrio, there's enough light coming off of this tower, just illuminating the whole place. However, it's still comforting to have. Up on one of the stones, you hear this crunching sound. And angling upward. You ever seen that comic book of Bane and Batman? You see this shrouded angel broken over the knee of this creature. Its face like more teeth than anything else. One arm elongated into a wing, while it has this other wing coming out of its back. And the beast just engorges itself on the angel's corpse. Amrita, you would see that it is within your range now. It's maybe 90 feet up.
I'm gonna shoot at it. Sure, Rite of Flame and
Yeah, Acrio looking up at it, looks at his party. All right, time to go to work.
A 14, however, does not hit.
Cyril does see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She sees the angel is just getting absolutely fucking wrecked. She starts crying.
yeah, Amrita watches as her shot goes wide. Damn it!
There's a tinging metal on stone as her second blade falls down the edge of this cliffside, landing somewhat unceremoniously at the base.
Go of her!
This gold, bioluminescent blood dripping from this thing's fangs as its tongue like extends out and brushes across its teeth. It will drop the angel's body, still at the top of this cliffside, so it doesn't fall, but Asuriel, you were able to reach it as it then slinks back. Can I have you make a perception check, Asuriel?
While you're rolling, I turn to Val and I say, "We're gonna get revenge, okay? You don't have to, or we're gonna kill it."
Do I have time to put guidance on myself?
Probably not.
Alright.
It's just shaking ever so slightly, even more wide-eyed than before, but keeping it together as best as possible as he just looks at Cillian.
Draw blades.
How far away is the most likely dead angel?
About 90 feet up a cliff.
Okay, no.
Not super
Never
far,
mind
like
then.
maybe 30 feet forward, but a lot upward.
Yeah, he's not good.
Asuriel, as this creature is locking eyes with you and moving backward, like faster than you would almost expect it to, the dark pits where its eyes should be, never leaving you. It's almost like you see its arms start to get a little longer, the claws cutting into the stone a little deeper after having drank from this angel, and then that mist-like shimmer goes across it, and it is gone in the mist and the clouds yet again.
Oh, fuck.
What are you all doing?
Gonna go after that angel. Just a little chance of maybe her not dying.
By the time you reach this angel whose name you wish you could remember, you pull the shroud back. She is already beginning to fade into mana essence. The edges of her wounds, like steam and light, just dissipating off of her.
Oh, I'm sorry, we were on time. So sorry.
Okay, before it comes back, someone grab her sword. We need to get Val into cover. Who's got ranged weapons? It's gonna come out of nowhere. It's gonna attack someone at random.
Not far.
I'm trying to locate it again. Just give me a few minutes.
Let's all get
I know
together. All get together.
I know you guys hate it, but Asura's gonna take out the stone.
Just find it.
It's times
Yeah.
like this where we don't hate it.
Amrita's
Times
gonna
like this
try
that you
and-
need it.
Yeah, Amrita's gonna try and smell for it again, or just like look in the sky herself.
You can still sense it, but again, it's distant and on the wind. And
Bastards,
Asuriel,
so
as
fuck,
you
shoot it.
look through this end of this witch stone, you do perceive more of this magical essence as it is radiating off of the corpse of this angel, but not much more than that. You think maybe you saw movement off around that peak, but you can't be sure.
It's not around here. I think
Alright,
it's
let's
really
hunt it
scared of
down.
me. It wasn't scared of her. Why is it scared of me?
Because you're way more awesome. That's very clear.
Something about you clearly must. There's no time to figure that out right now, but
Yeah, it's not exactly going to tell you.
Okay, someone, rope. I need it now. Asuriel, you're gonna go up to the top of the cliff, tie it to something. We're gonna climb the rope to the top and keep hunting it down.
All right. I think it might have gone up there. I'll be careful.
Someone
If it
has
attacks
the
us
rope.
while climbing, we're very vulnerable.
We're very vulnerable, so you better start climbing quick.
I'll keep an eye out.
I hand the hook end of my rope to Asuriel.
And I'll tie an extra 50 to it.
Yep.
She'll fly up and find them a secure spot to fasten it. And
Val
then
won't be
she'll-
able to.
I can't
Have
get
him
him up.
carry on my back.
Just tie the end of the rope to him when you all get up there, just to keep him up.
That's a good idea. You suggest.
Put it
but-
around.
All right,
No, I'm being
Amrita,
serious. That's what I would do.
Up
Oh.
first. Amrita, go to the top of the cliff. You keep watch. We'll follow.
okay.
Yep, that is doable, and yeah. Amrita, you will make it to the top with Asuriel, who is still... Her face is still wet. You can see the light shining off of this tower, as the smell of this angelic corpse is unlike anything you've experienced before. There's not even really a one-to-one analog unless you've been in that presence before. But you don't have time to really focus on that, as you have to make sure you are not ambushed. The rest of the party can climb up, following after by Val, being hoisted at the end of the rope, having to tie it to himself, rappelling, one arm holding on, as the rest of you use as much strength as you can muster to get him to the peak. And as you're all standing there in the glow of this tower, with a creature looming somewhere, that's where we're going to end this week's session.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Well, Salty, do you think we were going to fight it today?
No, but
Yeah, I don't have a combat
shut up.
anymore.
What's the worst that could happen, right?
Ooh.
An angel just died.